Hi there, everyone. Welcome to episode 893 of the Mike from Maine show, the place where we do daily interviews with successful online entrepreneurs. This is your host, Mike Thomas, and today on the show, we have Simon Harries on, and we're going to be talking about a powerful software that's going to allow you to get unlimited leads using the power of Twitter. Now, not only does it do that, but it takes them through a special process that will get them to convert to sales. Let's get into it. Here's Simon. We are here today with Simon Harries. Simon, welcome back to the show.
Thanks, Mike.
Simon,
welcome. Great to be back.
Yeah, Simon, today we're going to be talking about something that we all need in our marketing, and that's leads. If we don't have leads, we're never going to have any sales, and that's, of course, why we're doing this whole online business thing. I'm going to go ahead and read off the headline for this and let you get right into it here. It says, need qualified leads for your business. New app finds and nurtures leads who are ideal fits for your offers for a perfect storm of followers and profit. So bring us into this. What's this all about, and why should we be excited?
Yeah, hey Mike, thanks for having me. And yeah, so basically, as you said, leads is the lifeline to basically 99.9% of businesses out there. If you're an ER room in America, you need people coming in with injuries, to people who sell things on the phone. You have to have leads. But the key thing for me is that what we saw out in the market, that we saw a lot of people selling a lot of traffic products, a lot of hefty traffic. We're saying, get mass traffic, get, floods of traffic, viral traffic. And realistically, we done a lot of that. We used viral traffic, but nothing ever really converted, right? So all it was traffic. Okay, so there's very, very big difference between traffic and leads. Okay, so what we wanted to make sure is that we were putting all our energy and effort into getting leads instead of getting traffic, if you saw what I mean. I know people all say...
Yeah, like a lead is a potential buyer. Like, it's a potential person that's going to actually buy your service. And you're saying, like, traffic, if you have just a bunch of traffic coming in, you could have millions and millions of hits from people and have no leads, have no one in that traffic that is actually interested in ever purchasing your product.
Yeah, and that was a big thing. We didn't want to, we wanted to build a product that actually generated results. So what we wanted to do is we wanted to find a source where we could find to find reliable leads that are ready to buy, that actually get you results, that actually generate revenue for your business, generate sales for your company, whatever you need. We wanted to get you leads. Okay, so what we did is we found a huge problem with things like Facebook ads and Google ads and spending loads of money. And we've seen our ROI becoming down because all that was happening was that we were just driving traffic. No one was ready to buy as such. So what we did is we looked at another source, and we seen some facts basically on HubSpot. HubSpot. Those guys are obviously just literally number freaks. And we found that basically 38% of people on Twitter actually earn more than $50,000. Okay, so this was a starting block for us. So there was people on there who earned good money and had money to spend. Okay, so what we did, we delved a little bit more, and we found out that basically a lot of professionals, a lot of companies, basically over 90% of professionals and companies have a Twitter account. Basically, so what we did is we delved in and we applied the process that we know really well. Basically, the selling. Right? I've been a salesman for a very long time and a marketer. So what we did is we know there's a process. We know that you have to warm up. People warm up leads, give them hints, try and make them feel that they're making they're not being sold to. Okay, so what we did is we built this software called Leads.io, which taps into the source, which is Twitter, for you guys to follow the right people. So all you have to do is enter the key niche, the word in there, and it brings people already searching, talking about, following people inside of the niche that you want to sell in. Okay, so we found the source and we found the location of where everyone was hanging out. Okay, so where your leads were hanging out. We weren't just going on Facebook, because at the end of the day, Facebook, there's a lot of people on there just trying to pass the time, clicking on things like cat videos and all the type of videos. So what we found is that people weren't really on there to sign up for things or buy things or great. But on Twitter, we found that the engagement was far higher when using the tactics that we know really, really well. So what we've done is we've implemented the tactics inside a very clear dashboard, which I'll show you shortly, to keep you monitored. So what you're able to do then is actually turn these people who are already in your niche, already searching, already hot, and ready to buy, and enter them into a dashboard which helps you follow up with the leads correctly, drop in the right messages, follow a process that gets you far better results than shoving a load of traffic at a website. Okay, so that's what the problem we found is that conversions, traffic, doesn't matter what you get, were right down. And it wasn't because of bad sales copy, it wasn't because of the wrong offer, it was because the process wasn't turning these people traffic into leads whatsoever. So what we want to do is cut out the traffic sort of bit. You're still going to get traffic, of course, but you're going to get leads, people who are ready to buy or interested in buying, in your thing, in your industry, already out there looking.
And this isn't just theoretical too. Like, you guys created this and you actually got it to work. Like, you have proof that this actually works.
Yeah, we got proof that it works. We've been building up huge leads accounts, so is beta users, and things like that. Because the key for us was that, when we look at stuff, and especially revamping, especially this year, the key for us is we want to work with people. We want to pick people who we work with. Okay, but when you shove a load of traffic at a product, you don't really have too much choice in who sort of buys your product. You can work with the leads and find out what they are. So that was one of them. We wanted to know where they were hanging out. So we wanted to know where these leads go for their information, where they hang out, where they're the most active. We found that was Twitter. And the third of all, we wanted to make sure that when it comes to selling high-end tickets, like, things over $500, $2,000, that they were already warmed up to it. And we weren't just because we weren't just spending those, because to convert, 1 million hits of traffic or like 1,000 hits of your traffic at a site for $2,000, chances of you converting are very, very low. But if you can follow the process, and that's what we have here, is a solid sales process. This is what I love about it as well. Yes, we show you how to implement it using leads, but realistically, if you implement what we teach you on how to use leads in the real world, even from like door to door or picking up the phone or whatever you do in business and using it, even in funnels and emails that you send out, this process will heat up those people and generate that, stale traffic into hot buying leads, using this, step-by-step process on how to heat these people up and engage with them in the right way. And that's why we've got full training PDF. And the reason it's a PDF is because recently I've just, emailed my list and I asked, how did you want to receive content? Do you want it as a downloadable PDF or downloadable video, or just video on the screen? And downloadable PDF won 64% out of 812 responses.
So you've got the software and you've got the training in there showing them how to actually use it to get leads. Simon, bring us in. Let's take a look. I think this is one of those things that you actually want to see to really understand.
Yeah, of course. So let me just get it up. Let me just share screen here a second. Share screen. Let me know when you can see yourself, Mike.
I'm there.
Cool. Cool. Can you everyone see my dashboard right now?
Yes.
Cool. So this is the account I set up for people like Mike and that to go in and use it themselves. Okay, so as you can see, Sam Backer test is near my test, pre-launch Pete. There's a few people who are testing things in here. So I wanted to make sure we bring you into one that, is pretty plain and simple. Okay, so as you can see, we limit how much, first of all, we limit how many leads you can add a day, add a week, and add a month. The reason for this is because this is very much a numbers game, but we know that how much things you can actually handle. Okay, so we know that keeping on top of 50 leads or 50 things at one time can be overwhelming and can end up spending a lot of time on you. You guys are busy people, so we wanted to give you something to really aim at. Okay, so if we go in here, basically what will happen, you'll come into a blank screen, you'll connect your Twitter account up in accounts button, and then you can create the campaign. Okay, so what happens is you can go and search straight away. So for example, if you're in the golf niche or something like that, you can just put the word golf in, click search, and what will happen is they'll pull people up who are recently today, right now talking about things in golf or tweeting golf, things like that. Okay, so what you're able to do then is just start following people, read what they've written, follow them straight off the dashboard, and start adding these type of leads to your account. Okay, so these people are what I call hyperactive leads. Okay, this is where they're right now and they're talking about it. And that's the reason we have them in this order, is because they're definitely talking about it. If people are asking for advice on like what to buy, or things like, there's one here about betting. There's another one here, so that you can just
like
follow
they're
them.
qualified leads, like they're actually interested in that niche.
That's insane. They're already talking about the niche, and they're already best golf GPS watches improve the game. You can follow that. They're selling stuff, so you can see who they're following, things like that. Okay, so what happens then? They get added. Obviously, they all get added to a campaign that you've obviously set up, and then you can head over to your leads. Then, okay, so when you go in, you can see that, like you can see here in the dashboard, that it gives you a step-by-step process right here now, on what you need to do to follow and engage with the new lead. Okay, so you follow the user, and then it says you want to wait 23 more hours before you start liking a user's tweet. Okay, so when you like the user's tweet, you can go in, like it. After 24 hours, this step then will highlight. The software will read it, and what it'll do, it'll remind you then to keep engaging, building up a follow with each of these leads as you move along the campaign. Okay, so that's how it sort of goes with that, and it just keeps you reply to user's tweet, mention cheating user, and follow user. And there's going to be a training session which has just been uploaded right now, where it shows you how to engage, how to write messages, how the first intel, the second how to PM, and then when to drop your offer in, when to drop some value in, and build that lead then and push them to whatever you want to push them to, a squeeze page, a high ticket offer, whatever you want to do about that. So that's very pretty much simple, straightforward with that, and that's basically the software at the look. So the software is it's pretty solid. It's very, very safe. It cuts out the whole thing, but like we said, they're targeted, already searching inside your niche. Okay, so that's a big part of it. When the training comes out, there's going to be a lot of stuff in there on sales processes, how to sell, how to engage, how to write copy, things like that, to build this trust that you need when obviously building up and selling products online.
So like you build like a little relationship with them. They notice that you're liking their stuff. They notice that you're retweeting. Because you're retweeting their stuff, they're like, oh, look, this is a nice person. They're retweeting what I'm putting out there. And then you it's kind of like a dating process with them. And you take them out on a date. You go out for coffee. You're not just like trying to marry them on the first date here. But as far as like sending them where you want them to go, let's say you want them to opt in somewhere, or you want to send them to a sales page or something, where would you do that?
You just, you'll do it in there sort of, like you would if you were going to ask someone for a date. You do it inside their DMs, their direct messages. Okay. So what we tend to do is make sure that you guys push people, or like you can do an active tweet when you're replying. So there's two ways of doing it. What we found is sometimes the person or the lead that you're talking to sort of moves it into DM, or some people just have it, which one I prefer is where you're just tweeting them back and forward publicly, and then you drop your link inside one of the tweets. Okay, so you're engaging through that's my favorite one. Some of them like to take it into DM because it's a bit more business related and it takes a bit more personal, and they don't want their followers, seeing the stuff, the deals that they're doing. But a lot of stuff like is coming. What we find then is that's being shared to your followers and their followers, and you'll find that a lot of people coming because their followers, especially if it's like a golf club or something like that, when you start dropping that in, you can move forward with those, and their followers can see the offers and stuff that you're pushing out.
What other use cases can you give us for this? Like, who else you mentioned golf as a niche example. What other people would get the most out of this?
So like the big one for us is like obviously in our niche, and probably most people starting out there, you can put in like make money, self-improvement, anything in general, anything, as long as you have even if you're selling affiliate products, or you're selling a big e-com product, or you have things that you're selling like cat cakes or necklaces, whatever you have.
Did you say cat cakes?
Cat cakes, cat necklaces, whatever you have. Yeah, cat cakes.
Not like cakes made out of cats, right?
No, like
Okay.
yeah, yeah, definitely. Well, I don't know. Some people.
Maybe you never know.
You never know. I don't want to. If you're out there making cat cakes with cats, then that's your business. But yeah, what you want to do, if anyone's out there, trying to join a business, because it's keyword research. Like I said to people, if you use, if you ever thought about using Google Ads or anything to do with keywords, then this is perfect for you. If you think keywords are going to work for your business or Facebook ads works for your business, this works for you because it's just entering those keywords or entering those, authority figures inside of here and really then just following their followers. You're already tapping into the traffic that's going to these pages. That's the thing. The key thing for me in business is that the traffic is already there. It's already out there. Okay, so there's no need to generate traffic. It's all about getting in front of the traffic, and this is the perfect form way. Twitter already has the traffic, so what you want to do is make sure that you get the leads that are already searching about your topics and your niche that you're already selling inside of.
And you're not paying for this traffic. This is all free.
Yeah, it's all free. It's all totally free. All it requires is a Twitter account, which is free, and it just starts moving from there. So if you have a very well established Twitter account or you've never had a Twitter account before, this is absolutely perfect for you and 100% safe. And that's the key thing for us is that they use the software. It's 100% safe, but the key for us is that you understand the process, because we know when you go through this process using Leads.io, you're going to feel far more confident in other areas of business when it comes to generating sales and creating sales and doing the right steps to generating sales and not being one of those MLM. Hey, join my MLM message, add as friend, and straight away. And that's the key for us is that we want to teach you how to sell things. I know most people just want to sell off a page of a webinar, but you need to build trust. You need to build a relationship. Sales, like Mike said, is very much like dating. Okay, so just think about it. How would you want someone to treat your daughter, your son, or your wife if they maybe not your wife?
I don't know how I want someone to treat my wife on a date.
No, maybe not your wife, but definitely think of it like that. That's how sales works, and that's the main reason of it. There's a process to it. It's been massively effective for me over the last 5 or 6 years making sales. We wanted to bring this into an online way and tap into a market that isn't really tapped into at the minute. I can't remember the last time someone launched a Twitter product out there. Twitter's very, very much have been forgotten, but what's happening is the people who've got money to spend, and probably a big thanks to a newly elected president, the Twitter is sort of back on the very much so. And like I said, like all businesses have Twitter accounts. Twitter, Facebook, and sort of LinkedIn are the main ones for these businesses and things. So if you're ever selling to a business or you send to people, they're on here because the traffic's there. You just need to get in front of it.
Is there anything else you wanted to show us, Simon, in the front end before we move on to talking about the OTOs?
That's pretty clear. So you basically come in. You can create the first thing I want to touch on. You can create as many campaigns as you want. You can add as many Twitter profiles as you want. So if you have 8 different e-commerce stores that have 8 different Twitter accounts, you can add them all straight in. And what it is, if you look here, these numbers aren't per account. Basically, they're per. When I say they are per account, they're not per campaign. They're for per account. So if you have 8 different Twitter accounts, you can add 50 leads to each account.
And that's the front end offer. There's a limit of 50 per Twitter account on the front end offer.
Yeah. So that per day. Per
day. So if I have could I put 1,000 Twitter accounts in this?
Yeah, you could put 1,000
and have 50,000 leads that I get per day.
Yes, that's exactly how it works. Okay. That's the best math to explain it.
Okay, so that's the front end offer there. Bring us through. Show us. I know it's going to be a one-time fee during the launch. I think you guys are planning on making it monthly after. So if you guys want to get it at a one-time fee, you want to pick it up during the launch period. OTOs.
Cool. OTOs. So basically, OTOs very much, if you tag at the start of the search bit again, it's called the follower search. Okay, so what we found is that authorities have the majority of the leads. Okay, so what happens is that there's a big thing called, what I call, it's a theory I have, it's called hyperactive buyers, hyperactive leads. Okay, so what happens is, I bet you everyone sat here watching this has been through it before, where they've been introduced to something by a friend, or they want to start a new hobby or something like that. And what happens is they normally turn to social media and Google, and they start searching frantically keywords about things, or on Twitter, following the people. So if you, for example, let's use tennis this time, for an example, that you've just gone downstairs, you put the TV on, and you've just got into a Grand Slam game, which is Federer and Nadal, Australian Open recently, and you've just fallen in love with tennis. The first thing you're probably going to do, you're going to go and search Roger Federer, search Nadal, and follow them on all their social medias, things like that. So what you're able to do is you're able to put, say, Roger Federer. I think I spelled that right. I hope I have. And like basically what happens then, you'll see that these people are people who actually follow Roger Federer. Okay, so it'll bring up people who are already following the handle. So what you do is just go to Twitter. Let me make sure I put it in right. So you go to twitter.com, and basically you'll find someone established in your niche, or niche, whatever you want to call it, and then you can just put their handle in, and what it'll do, it'll bring up all their recent followers. Okay, so everyone that's recently followed them. Okay, so what we call these people are hyperactive buyers. These people who are out there right now thinking about your niche. They're in there, they're thinking about your niche, they're following people. The reason they want to follow people is they want to know stuff. So if you're in the make money niche, you can start following people like Guy Vaynerchuk, Tyler Biz, and they'll be in order of most recent down. Okay, they'll be most recent down, and you're able to just move forward, follow them back, and engage with these people who are already interested in their niche, in that, making money online, wherever it is, and then you can basically market them a little bit quicker than trying to heat them up, because they're already warmed up, because they're already talking and they're already frantic about the niche. So we call them hyperactive leads. So that's O201.
Okay, so that's the first OTO. What's the second one?
So that's the first OTO, and the second one then is basically it's an agency rights. So agency rights on where you're able to export basically the leads out of here with their Twitter handles, sell them, sell the package on. So you're able to send a specific link to a leads dashboard, where you're able then to to a company or to a competitor or to anyone, where you're able to sell them on ready to be engaged by that person. So
you could actually go out there and do all the research, find the leads, and then sell these leads to someone that in their niche, and be like, look, I've got all these people that are potentially interested in your service or your product, and now all you have to do is follow up with them. And do you give them access to the software too?
Basically, it's like a private link that they can send out, and then basically they have everything inside of there to follow up. So just like you would inside of leads, if you bought the front end, basically, but it'd already be sort of like pre-filled.
Cool. Okay, so that's the second OTO. Is there another one after that?
Nope, that's it. We're keeping it plain and simple. Like I said, the last upsell probably isn't going to be for everyone. We'll be totally honest. It's if you're ready to, if you want to add an extra income stream to your business, then it's definitely for you, because you literally just go in every day, load 50 up, maybe do it for 5-6 days. You can add 500 people in, 250 people into your leads, and sell these hot leads, on to another company. If you wanted to, like we said, you can either sell them without them being heated up, or you can sell them where they're already being heated up into the niche, which obviously you probably get a better price for. Or you can even just manage them. You say, I'm going to be sending leads to your offer. Just pay me a monthly recurring of this, and I can get, I can do this for you on a daily basis. So there's a lot of options there when it comes to agency rights. I know there's a lot of people doing some amazing things with agency right products out there. So literally the world's your oyster when it comes to building them up.
Simon, thank you so much for coming on the show today. Is there anything else, anything we missed, anything you wanted to mention before we wrap it up?
Yeah, I just wanted, the only thing I wanted to mention is, have a look at the software does a lot of work for you, but please, take your time to go through all the training, through the engagement training on the selling process, because this will help you just in all aspects of your business when it comes to selling your product. So definitely look at how the software works. and understand the process of what's going on when you're generating these people into sales, because you can then take it and revolutionize it into other aspects of your business. You can go and do it on Facebook as such, hitting people up in the IM inboxes and things like that. And when you're attending network events, follow the same process. If you're there for 3 or 4 days, go say hi. Next day, buy them a beer, then take them out for lunch, and then do all the business over lunch when you're in a better environment. And that's what's key for me, is understanding the process to closing sales and deals.
Again, thank you so much for coming on the show, and best of luck with your launch.
Thanks, Mike.
I hope you enjoyed the interview today with Simon. If you are interested in picking up Leads.io at its lowest price, you're going to want to come back tomorrow at 11 a.m. Eastern Time on Tuesday, February 14th. You're going to be able to get it at its lowest price along with my special bonuses. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all tomorrow.